Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 1 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 1 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter understand subtraction, and the lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are subtract with pictures number up to 10, subtraction sentences numbers up to 10, subtraction sentences using number lines numbers up to 10, and subtract 0 and all. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, here I'm on grade 1 math. Chapter we're working on is understand subtraction. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is subtract with pictures numbers up to 10. Subtract 4, take away 2. So first of all you have to count the total flowers, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. 2 of them are crossed, right? So you have, that means you have to take away 2 because 2 of them are crossed. Now you have to count the one you are left with. So you are left with 2 flowers, right? So there are 4 flowers in all. 2 of them are crossed out. What number do you get when you start with 4 and take away 2? So when you start with 4 and you take away 2, you are left with just 2. You have to count the flowers that are not crossed out, right? That means you are left with just 2 flowers, right? So there are 2 flowers left when you start with 4 and take away 2, you are left with 2. So 4 take away 2 equals 2. Okay, the next one is subtract. So you have to start with the total violins. So there are 2 violins in all, right? And 2 of them are crossed out. So that means when you start with 2 and you take away 2, what numbers you are left with? You are left with 0, right? Because all of the violins are crossed out. You are left with no violins, right? So there are 0 violins left. So when you start with 2 and take away 2, you are left with 0, right? Okay, the next one is you have a one cheese grater, right? And you have a crossed. So there is only one cheese grater. It is crossed out, right? That means what number do you get when you start with 1 and take away 1? So when you start with 1 and take away 1, you are left with just 0. You have to count the one that are not crossed out, but you don't have any. That means you are left with just 0. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, subtract. So let's just start with the example. So you can see you have three of the so you can see you have three of these stars, right? Two of them are crossed out. Total are three, two of them are crossed out. That means when you start with three and you take away two, you are left with, you have to count the ones that are not crossed out, right? So you are left with just one. That means three take away two equals one. So the correct option is one. Four take away. So you have the total pans you have are four, right? You have one, two, three, four pans, right? And you can see all of them are crossed out, right? That means when you start with four and you take away four, so how many pans you are left with? You are left with no pan, right? All of them are crossed out. So that means 4 take away 4 equals 0. So the correct option is 0, right? Okay, the next one is subtract. So let's just count the total strawberries. You have two of the strawberries, right? One of them is crossed out. So that means you start with two strawberries. When you start with two, take away two, you are left with one, right? You have to count the one that is not crossed out. So that means when you start with two, take away one, you are left with one. The correct option is one. Subtract. So you have, let's just count all the sheeps, right? You have one, two, three, four sheeps you have, right? Two of them are crossed out, right? That means you have to start with four, take away two. So when you start with four, take away two, you are left with two. You have to count the sheeps that are not crossed out. So four take away two equals two. So the correct option is two. Okay, the next one is subtract. So let's just count the total hangers. You have one, two, three, four, five hangers. Three of them are crossed out. So how many hangers you are left with? You have to count the one that are not crossed out, right? So it would be 5 take away 3 equals 5 take away 3 equals 2. So the correct option is 2, right? 5 take away 3 is 2. So you're left with just 2. Okay, so you have two orange, right? And they both are crossed out. So how many oranges you are left with? It would be 2 take away 2 equals 2 take away 2 equals 0. So the correct option is 0. That means when you start with 2, you take away 2, you are left with 0. Okay, the next one is you have only one cheese grater and that is already crossed, right? So you how many cheese graters you are left with? That means 1 take away 1 equals 0. So the correct option is 0, right? So 1 take away 1 is 0. Okay, the next one is you have, let's just count the total trolleys. How many trolleys do we have? One, two, three, four trolleys we have, right? One of them is already crossed. So how many trolleys we are left with? Four. That means four take away one equals. You have to count the one that are not crossed. So how many of them are not crossed? Three of them are not crossed, right? That means four take away one equals three. So the correct option is three. Four take away one is three. The correct option is three. Okay, the next one is you have one, two, three, four mats. One of them is crossed out. So you are left with that means when you start with four, you take away one, you are left with three. That means you have to count the ones that are not crossed out. So you are left with just three. The next one is you have one, two, three, four brownies. Two of them are crossed out. That means when you start with four, you take away two, you are left with two. The correct option is two. So four take away two equals two. The correct option is two. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is subtraction sentences numbers up to 10. So we are working with pictures in the last lesson, right? Now you are going to start with the sentences. You have to write down you have to look at the pictures and you have to write the sentence. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? Okay, let's just count the total. One, two, three, four, right? And all of them are crossed out. That means the total are four, the crossed out are four, so that would be four, take away four, and you are left with just zero. First, count all the puzzle pieces, even the ones that are crossed out, right? So you have to count all of them, right? If they are crossed or not. So you have four. There are four pieces of puzzle. Now count the how many puzzles are crossed out. So you can see four, all of them are crossed out. That means the first part of the sentence is four, take away four, and you're left with no. You don't have any puzzle that is not crossed out. So that means four, take away four is zero, right? Okay, which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? You can see you have one, two. Let's just count total players, right? You have one, two, three players. Then you have to count the crossed. Two of them are crossed. That means it is three take away two, right? And you have to count the one you are left with. So you are left with only one that is not crossed. So that means three take away two equals one, right? This one is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? Which is the correct option? Okay, let's just count all of the corns, right? You have one, two, three, four, five corns, right? And then you have to count the ones that are crossed. So all of them are crossed, right? That means it would be five, take away five, and you are left with 5 take away 5 is 0. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, what subtraction sentence does the picture show? So, which is the correct option? Let's just count the total biscuits, right? The total biscuits we have is 2. Then you have to count the ones that are crossed out. So, 2 out of 2 are crossed out, right? That means 2 take away 2, and you have to count the ones that are not crossed out, but they all are crossed out, right? That means 2 take away 2 is 0. So, the correct option is 0, right? 2 take away 2 is 0. So option number A is the correct option. Okay, which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? Okay, let's just count all of the bill papers, right? You have one, two, three, 4 bill papers. Then you have to count the ones that are crossed out. So how many of them are crossed out? Yes, 3 of them are crossed out. So 4 take away 3 and you are left with just 1, right? So 4 take away 3 equals 1. So the correct option is 4 take away 3 equal 1. That would be the last option, option number D. The correct option is D. Okay, the next one is which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? You can see you have one, two, three, 4 puzzle pieces. How many of them are crossed out? You have 4 pieces of puzzle and all of them are crossed out, right? So you have to do 4 take away 4 and you are left with 4 take away 4 is 0. The correct option is option number D. 4 take away 4 is 0. That would be option number D. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? You can see you have one, two, three, 4 toys. How many of them are crossed out? 2 of them are crossed out, right? That means 4 take away 2. And how many you are left with? You are left with 2. So 4 take away 2 equals 2. 4 take away 2 equals 2. Option number D is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? First of all, you have to count them all, right? How many of them? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then you have to count the ones that are crossed out. How many of them are crossed out? 1, 2, 3, 3 of them are crossed out, right? That means it is 5 take away 3 and you are left with, so that would be 5 take away 3 equals 2. So the correct option is 2, option number D is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? You have to count the total pence, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pence. And 2 of them are crossed out, right? That means 5 take away 2. And you have to then count the ones that are not crossed out. So it would be 5 take away 2 equals 3. So the correct option is 5 take away 3 equals 5 take away 2 equals 3. That would be option number C. So which is the correct option? C is the correct option. 5 take away 2 equals 3. Which subtraction sentence does the picture show? So which is the correct option? You have 3 of the starfish and one of them is crossed out, right? So how many you are left with? That would be 5 take away 3 and you are left with, sorry, 3 take away 1 and you are left with 2. The correct option is 3 take away 1 equals 2. That would be option number C is the correct option. 3 take away 1 equals 2. That would be option number C is the correct option. Okay, the next one is you have one, two, three, four gorillas. You have one of them is already crossed out, right? That means 4 take away 1 and you are left with 4 take away 1 equals 3. You have one, 2, 3. You are left with. So that means the sentence is 4 take away 1 equals 3. That would be option number 2, right? 4 take away 3 is 1. That would be option number C. Oh, that would be B. 4 take away 1 is 3. Yes, that would be, sorry, not C. Okay, got it. The next one is you have how many players do you have? You have one, two, three players, right? Two of them are crossed out. That means 3 take away 2 and you are left with 1. That would be 3 take away 2 equals 1. So which is the correct option? 3 take away 2 equals 1. That would be option number D. Okay, the next one is you have One, two, three, four, five pieces of cheese. How many of them are crossed? Only one of them is crossed, right? So it would be 5 take away 1 and you are left with, you have to count the ones that are not crossed. So 4 of them are not crossed, right? So it would be 5 take away 1 equals 4. The correct option is option number B. So the correct option is B. 5 take away 1 equals 4. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is subtraction sentences using number lines, numbers up to 10. Okay, now we're going to learn how do we subtract using number lines. Which subtraction sentence does this model show? Okay, you can see you started with 9 and you did with 2, right? You have to see how many subtractions you did. Just count these one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means you have to do, that means you have done 9, take away 7. You did 7. You go back by 7, right? 9 take away 7 and you are left with this one. You are left with, now you are left with 2, right? 9 take away 7 is 2. Okay, which subtraction sentence does the model show? So which is the correct option? You have 7, right? You go back by 1, 2, 3, 4. You go back by 4. That means 7 take away 4 and you are left with, that would be 7 take away 4 equals 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. 7 take away 4 equals 3, right? Okay, the next one is you started with 6. You go back 1. That means 6 take away 1 and you are left with 5. That would be option number C. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay. Which subtraction sentence does the model show? So which is the correct option? You started with 7. You go back by 1, 2, 3, 4. You go back by 4. So 7 take away 4 equals 7 take away 4 equals 3. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? A is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does this model show? Which is the correct option? You started with 6. You go back by 2 and you are left with, that means 6 take away 2 equals 4. That means option number D is the correct option. 6 take away 2 equals 4. That is the correct option. D is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does the model shows? Which is the correct option? So you started with 9. You go back 1, 2 times and you are left with 7. That would be option number 1. 9 take away 2 equals 7. That is the correct option. 9 take away 2 equals 7. Option number A is the correct option. Okay, the next one is, so you started with 7, you go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and you're left with 2. That means 7 take away 5 equals 2. The correct option is D, option number D. 7 take away 5 equals 2. Okay, the next one is, which subtraction sentence does this model show? So you started with 6, you go back 1, and you left with 5. That means 6 take away 1 equals 5. That would be option number C is the correct option, right? Which subtraction sentence does this model show? So which is the correct option? You started with 7, you go back 1, and you are left with 6. So it would be 7 take away 1 equals 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. 7 take away 1 is 6. 7 take away 1 equals 6. B is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does this model show? So which is the correct option? You started with 7, you go back 2, right? 1, 2, and you ended with 5. That means 7 take away 7 take away 2 equals 5. That means option number C is the correct option. Which subtraction does this model show? So which is the correct option? You started with 8, you go back 1, and you ended with 7. So it would be 8 take away 1 equals 7. Option number C is the correct option. S- 8 take away 1 equals 7. So option number C is the correct option, right? 8 take away 1 equals 7. Option C is the correct option. Which subtraction sentence does this model show? So which is the correct option? You started with 8, you go back 1, and you ended with 7. That means 8 take away 1 equals 7. That would be A, B, C option is the correct option. The correct option is option number. Okay, that's the one I forgot to click on the okay button. Which subtraction sentence does this model show? You started with 5, you go back 1, and you ended with 4. That means 5 take away 1 equals 4. That would be option number B is the correct option. Okay, which subtraction sentence does the model show? You started with 9, you go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You go back 8, 9 take away 8 equals 1. So the correct option is A, B, C. Option number C is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, and the next lesson is subtract 0 and all. Okay, 4 take away 4. That means you are subtracting a number from itself. Whenever you are subtracting a number from itself, your answer must be 0, right? So it doesn't matter what is the number, what number is it is. When you are subtracting a number from itself, the answer is 0. Same is the case for 2 take away 2. You are subtracting 2 from itself, so 2 minus 2 is 0. Then the next one is 1 minus 0. When you subtract a 0 from a number, right? When you subtract 0 from a the number stays the same. 1 minus 0 equals 1, right? You subtracted 0 from 1. The number stays the same. 1 minus 0 equals 1. Okay. 1 take away 0. So which is the correct option? One take away 0. When you subtract 0 from a number, the number stays the same. 1 take away 0 is 1. 4 take away 0 equals when you subtract 0 from a number, the number stays the same. So 4 take away 0 is 4. 5 take away 0 is 5 take away 0 is 5. 3 take away 0 equals 3 take away 0 equals 3. The correct option is 3. 2 take away 2. You subtract a number from itself, always the answer is 0. When you subtract a number from itself, the answer is 0. 1 take away 1. Subtracting a number from itself is always 0. 4 take away 4 is 0. 3 take away 3 is 3 take away 3 is 0. You have 5 take away 5, so 5 take away 5 is 5 take away 5 is 0. Subtracting a number from itself is always a 0, right? Then you have 2 take away 0. So which is the correct option? 2 take away 0 is 2, right? When you subtract 0 from a number, the number stays the same. So it will be 2 take away 0 is 2. 3 take away 0 equals, then you have 3 take away 0. So 3 take away 0 is 3. The correct option is 3. Okay, 1 take away 0 is 1, it is, right? 4 take away 4 is 4 take away 4 is 0. 2 take away 0 is 2, right? 1 take away 0 is 1 take away 0 is 1. The correct option is 1. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. So we're working on grade 1 math. The chapter we're working on is understand subtraction. Lessons we have covered today are subtract with pictures, numbers up to 10. Subtraction sentences using number lines, numbers up to 10, subtract 0 and all. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the test questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So if you have any question, you can please ask.